Hey everyone, it's Kitty here, and this little guy is my furry pal, Pippin the Wheaten Terrier. I thought I'd walk through how I put this portrait of him together, so let's jump right in. To start off, I'm doing a light wash of the lightest colors in his fur. Pippin's an interesting mix of white, blonde, and toffee colored fur, which made this a really fun painting to do. And don't mind me, I've just realized I forgot to clip my paper down. Now I'm putting a base coat down of gray on his ears and nose and around his mouth. And now that my base is dried, I'm going in to define more of the detail in his fur. I'm also adding color variation to his fur at this point. Pippin's got some warmer browns along his back and the top of his head, as well as his legs. And just like I did with his body, I'm now adding some more fur and details to the ears and around his little nose. I just couldn't help myself. I had to paint him with a bow tie on because bow ties are cool. Just gonna drop that Doctor Who reference on the off chance one of you watching is a fellow Doctor Who fan. Now I'm going back in with a darker brown color to really emphasize the clumps of fur and the direction the fur is growing. Now that I have a better idea of how his fur is sitting, I'm going back in to touch up on some details, again making sure the warmer brown parts I'd set down before are still visible. And now for one of my favorite parts of the process, I'm starting to get into the shadows and defining which way the light is coming from. So I've decided the light is coming down from a top right angle, sort of in the direction that his face is looking. So I'm going in with some blue to do my first pass at the shadows. Taking a closer look at Pippin's face, I'm going in with some grays and blacks to define more of the fur around his nose and the color in his eye. Getting back to his body, I'm adding some darker blues to the bow tie and the area underneath his belly to really emphasize the shadows. So let's get into the background. Here I'm just splashing some colors around. I thought the orange looked nice and I wanted some brighter colors up near his face. And then to give him some weight, I'm adding some more blue around where he's actually sitting. I added some splashes of blue as well, just to make the background more crazy and more lively. Really matches his personality. Getting close to the end now, I'm adding some black to the darkest parts of the shadows. Really anchor him to the ground. As the final steps, I like to take a couple fine line markers, a black and a white usually, to add some final line details throughout the painting. I'm just adding some expressive lines to help convey the tone and the personality of Pippin here. With the white marker in particular, I'm adding final highlights, emphasizing highlights in the fur and in the eyes. I also realized that I accidentally gave him a unibrow, so I'm just going back in to fix that. And here's the final painting. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process, and thanks so much for watching.